Hello, I'm Emma Coble, and I'm a licensed professional counselor. And today I'm going to talk with you about what to do when someone insults your body, either intentionally or unintentionally. So, I am a licensed professional counselor practicing in Colorado online, and I work with women and non binary people. And I work on issues of anxiety and self worth. Today, first, I want to talk about this situation of someone making a comment about your body and insulting it intentionally or unintentionally. So, first of all, I want to say how common this is. That this has, I believe, happened to most, if not all, of us. Especially having a body that presents as female. It's incredibly common. People often think of female bodies as things that they have a right to talk about or that are kind of a public currency. And this is not any fault of your own if this has happened. It is sadly just seen as appropriate in our culture. So it is also really painful a lot of the times, I want to say. Your feelings about it, whatever they are that are coming up, whether that's hurt, frustration, anger, sadness, even if you just feel like something was kind of inappropriate or a little out of line and you're not really sure why, like all of that is valid. So if you're having that sensation of like, something is off here, or if you're downright sad or pissed or angry, that is all valid and it's worth paying attention to that. So when this happens, when someone does insult our bodies, whether it's intentionally or unintentionally, it is always a result of their own either ignorance or pain or self-judgment. So this is, when someone insults us, this is coming from a place of that they have not explored inside of themselves. There's probably some inherent prejudice or bias that they have not really looked at. And very likely they are making comments to other people, whether they're, again, ignorant and unintentional or intentional. They may be also probably having these thoughts about their own bodies or their own selves in some way. And no matter what, it is not okay, even if it is an ignorant comment. And of course, if it's meant to hurt, also that is inappropriate and it's not okay. I wrote this blog for the holidays because it's especially common when we're seeing all kinds of different relatives that we haven't seen in a long time. But frankly, it happens all the time. It happens all year round. And it doesn't signal any truth about you. The fact that they're saying these things doesn't mean there's something actually wrong. All bodies can be healthy. All bodies are beautiful and okay. So how do we respond when this happens? So the first thing I'll say is there can be many different responses that might feel right or healthy to you. You might consider bringing up how this made you feel. You could take a second to sort of sit with it if it feels appropriate to you and maybe say something like, hey, I know you didn't intend it this way, but when you said, XYZ, it really hurt my feelings. In some situations, if the comment is more direct or meant to hurt or sharp, it might be more appropriate to say that's not appropriate and to end the conversation or walk away. In some cases, it might be appropriate to actually just leave. But in sort of the gentler circumstances, it might be right to start out kind of using some I statements, maybe asking some clarifying questions, maybe doing a little bit of explaining about how a situation made you feel to people who are close to us. Now, there might be some situations where you decide it's not worth it to you to speak up and it feels better to just walk away. In the blog, I gave the example of like, if grandma with Alzheimer's makes a weird comment, I don't know, like you'd have to think about, does that feel like it will be a disservice to me not to use my voice? And trust your gut on what feels right to you. Maybe there are cases where bringing up what grandma said is really appropriate and feels empowering and feels good. So there's no right or wrong answer about this. And if you choose to walk away, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean you're weak or bad. And if you choose to bring it up, it also doesn't mean you're being a bitch or being too assertive. It can be appropriate to walk away and bring this up as well. But I do want to also say that sometimes we have a fear of bringing things up because we are often taught, again, in our culture, that it's women who set boundaries are bitches or are overly assertive. But boundaries are a way of practicing kindness to ourselves, of showing up for ourselves, reminding ourselves that we're worth love and respect. And they're also a way of teaching other people how to treat us and giving them clarity, which people often actually appreciate if they're able to really digest the boundary. And some people will not digest the boundary or respect the boundary. And then it might be time to make choices about how much those people get to be in our lives. So what to do in the aftermath of this? The last thing I just want to say is to practice some extra self-love and self-compassion. If you've had this happen, you might support yourself with the people who actually do see you and support you. Listen to body positive podcasts or books. There are so many out there these days. Chrissy Harrison's podcast, the book Body Kindness, is a great one. But just surround yourself with the things that lift you up and make you feel good. Be with supportive friends, or just simply just pamper yourself. Lay in front of the TV, do whatever it is you need to do. Remembering that health is possible at all sizes and shapes, and it's the patriarchal culture, that white supremacist culture, that has caused these inappropriate comments to be seen as acceptable or normal. And it's not you. This is not a fault with your body or a flaw with your body. All types of bodies have existed throughout all times. And the patriarchal culture we live in also makes it so appropriate for a lot of people to try and control women and women's bodies. So you're not alone. This is not about you. And I hope you can show up for yourself kindly and lovingly, whatever that means, and trust what that is. So thank you for watching today. And if you do want to get in touch with me, my website is mindfulcounselingdenver.com. Thanks so much.